Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fatu Network News Review today, 26th of March 2019. My name is Omar Wali. I'll be talking to the interim leader of the former ruling APRC party, Fabakary Tombong, and that it was alleged that he received a car from President Adama Barrow. And I'll be talking to Sidi Sane as well about the police conclusion on the Gach. You may remember in January, police confiscated a container belonging to a businessman. And there were rumors that there were not only recreational guns, but other firearms were also recovered. But yesterday, the police made their conclusion. We will get reaction from the Sidi Sane. And I will talk to Kek Sane as well. He is a supporter of the Doi party. And Sidi Ajata said Gambia is not a lucky country to have good leadership for the past 50 years. We have that and more on the news review. But before all that, I will start with the papers. We will never allow Gambia to return to dark days. That is the statement made by the former Vice President Ousainou Darboe, and the leader of the United Democratic Party has told supporters in the United States that he will fight and oppose any attempt to subvert the country's heart for democracy. He said, and I quote, "There will be no return to the dark and ugly days that are still fresh in the minds of all conscious citizens." Darboe told hundreds of supporters at the UDP Congress in the United States. And he said, a vividly emotional UDP Secretary General said, despite the fact that he and his men are no more in the cabinet, they will be working diligently to strengthen the democracy, the rule of law, and the purpose of public policy to serve the greater good of the Gambian people, Darboe told his supporters. And he said that the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission Never Again vision should not be limited to torture or murder. What causes torture and murder is abdicating the rule of law by denying the enjoyment of the law by the people and trampling on the rights of individuals. This is what led to the creation of dictators, and this is what we must resist in the Gambia. And until we do so, we will not get the Gambia that we want, Darboe told his supporters. Darboe said the Gambia and the people fought for this country free from corruption, and where the rule of law reigns supreme, and not where the decisions are done on the whims and the caprices of the individuals, or where nepotism, insufficiency, and incompetence reign. This is what has led to what took. This is what has led to what took place in Jammeh's time. He added, "I want to implore on all Gambians to remain vigilant and fully engaged in this democracy that have helped to bring about not only as a favor to a party, but an individuals as a duty one's self and the country that we love," he assured. He said he will remain committed to the comprehensive fulfillment of the coalition reform agenda and the NDP. And that's what the former Vice President and the Secretary General of the United Democratic Party, Ousainou Darboe, told his supporters in the United States recently. Barrow says youths are priority in the NDP. The State House Banjul on 5th of March 2019. President Barrow has once again reiterated that the empowerment and the development of young people occupies special attention in the development blueprint of this country, of his government. The president made the remarks while receiving an audience visiting delegation from the Young Men Christian Council Association, YMCA Finland, at State House in Banjul on Monday, 25th of March 2019. Youth development is a priority area for my government's National Development Plan 2018-2021. My government places high premium on their development and future leaders this country, he said. President Barrow said while reacting to news that the Finnish government is collaborating with YMCA to support young people in the country. He expressed optimism that their intervention will greatly complement the effort of his government in attaining its development goals. President Barrow thanked the YMCA Gambia for their support for the Gambia over the decades. And police officer testified in NIA 9 case. That is the police chief superintendent Bakeba Suso on Monday started his testimony For the prosecution before the Banjul High Court, he spoke mainly about how he interviewed agents of the Front National Intelligence Agency sometimes in 2017. Suso is the territory prosecution witness in the ongoing criminal trial of a former intelligence chiefs who are facing 25 counts ranging from conspiracy to commit felony, assault, causing bodily harm, murder, and making false documents, among others. The police told the court he was responsible for criminal investigation in 2017, tasked by the Deputy Commissioner Buba Sarr, who was the Criminal Management Coordinator, CMC, to constitute a panel to interview agents of the National Intelligence Agency in relation to the death of Ibrahim Solo Sandeng of the United Democratic Party, and witness dismissed claims by Vice President Sabali intervention in the 1994 coup d'etat. The Suleiman Aliu Jak, a former permanent secretary at the office of the Vice President and the Minister of Defense in 1994, has dismissed any suggestion that his former boss, Sehu Sabali, was the most powerful civil servant in Sadauda Inner Circle, conspired with the army in overthrowing the PPP government. Mr. Jack, who is currently the Gambia's ambassador and permanent representative to the African Union, told the TRRC yesterday that aside from the theories alleged by many, he said he has not come across any iota of evidence that suggests Sabali possibly involved in the ousting of former President Jawara. And I don't think any sensible politician will be stupid enough to conspire with any army in overthrowing a government he himself is serving on the pretext that they will put him to power. That was not accurate, and this has never happened anywhere in Africa, Ambassador Jack told TRRC. Gone in Porta Jawara cleared by the police investigation. We're talking about that. We had the story here yesterday following an exhaustive investigation into the catch of the suspicious guns discovered at Banjul Seaport on the 9th of January 2019, belonging to Gach Security Company. The Office of the Inspector General of Police wished to inform the public that the investigative panel, comprising experts from the Gambia Police Force, the Army, the intelligence services, has conducted their findings. And it can be recalled that in the wake of the discovery of 13 suspicious weapons out of the total of 1,263 pieces of firearms packed in the 252 boxes, the Gambia Police Force immediately launched an investigation panel to make a definitive determination if the said weapons were hunting guns as alleged by the importer Mr. Abubakar Jawara, or conventional weapons for warfare beyond the limits of his legal acquired hunting guns license through the Office of the Inspector General of Police. They also reporting that the court frees Kasim Fadera. A local magistrate court in Mansa Konko yesterday acquitted and discharged one Kasim Fadera, a resident of Soma, who was on trial for what he allegedly uttered on WhatsApp. The presiding magistrate ruled that Fadera has no case to answer because the prosecution did not provide enough evidence to prove their case beyond any reasonable doubt. He was charged with sedition and prohibition of conduct conducive to the breach of peace, which relates to a statement he uttered and posted on WhatsApp. The complainants, the 6 chiefs of the Lower River region, alleged that he has insulted them in a statement. Fadera, who was reprimanded, who was represented by lawyer Bori Toure, and Ablai Fati, made his first appearance in court on 12th of November 2018. He was remanded at Mansa Konko police station and later taken to Janjambure and later granted bail. Contacted shortly after the judgment was delivered, Mr. Fadera told the Standard that he is glad that the court has freed him. This is a clear demonstration that the dark days of this country are beyond us. That's what Mr. Kasim Fadera told the Standard shortly after he was acquitted and discharged by Mansa Konko Supreme Court. And police investigation exonerated the proprietor of Gach Security. That is the story we just read about the guns that were brought into the country in January. And UDP will never allow dictatorship in the Gambia. the deputy leader of the United Democratic Party, Ajam Seka, has reaffirmed her party's position, underlining that they will never allow return of dictatorship in the country. She said, and I quote, "We show no dictatorship and that it will not happen in this country anymore. We, the UDP, will not agree to it, and any genuine Gambian will not agree to it. We have to unite as Gambians and see ourselves as Gambians. If we are united, no one will put something to us that we don't want." That's what Yam Seka told supporters there. And Paro also says he places high premium on youth. And that's all we have for you on the papers. Today, I will now turn to Sidi Sane, a Gambian based in the United States, who will be talking about the police concluded their investigation about the guns that were imported in the country. As you may remember, yesterday, the police said they have completed their investigation and released their report. And we will get a reaction from him as soon as we lay hand on Sidi Sane. Hello? Hello? Well, I'm trying Sidi Sane, but meanwhile, I will be trying the interim leader of the former ruling APRC party, the Fabakary Tombong Jatta, who is said to have received a car from President Barrow. But I think, hello?
Hello.
Mr. Sane, welcome to the FATU Network.
Thank you, Omar, for having me.
All right. As you know, the police concluded their investigation yesterday
Yes.
into the guns that were brought into the country by Gach Security Company. And a statement signed by the public relations officer of the Gambia Police Force said, following an exhaustive investigation into the Gach of suspicious gun discovered at Banjul Seaport on the 9th of January 2019, belonging to this Gach Security Company, the Office of the Inspector General of Police wishes to inform the public that the investigative panel, comprised of security experts, the Army, intelligence, and others, that these are not what people expected to be arms. They are only for recreational purposes. You have been following this case. What is your reaction to this investigation, the conclusion of this investigation?
My initial reaction has been to welcome the report. Mm-hmm. I saw the press release myself yesterday, and the IG is saying that they have conducted a 2-month investigations, and that the outcome was that these consignment of BR-32s and 33s are hunting rifles. Well, I will take them for their word for now.
Okay.
But I have some serious doubts about the conclusions. Absolving Mr. Jawara of Gambia, Angola, China company, absolving them of any criminal liability, because in our own investigations have revealed that the BR-32s and BR-33s are nothing less than semi-automatic rifles.
Okay.
This is our conclusions. We have also done our own consultations. I am not a ballistic expert by any means. I am not a security, expert either. But I'm just a concerned citizen. These type of weapons are everywhere. I live in America for several years, and I have seen the deadly powers that these type of rifles have. So now, if the Inspector General of Police, whose number one priority and whose number one mission is to protect the civilian populations of the Gambia, is saying to us that these are hunting rifles, and he has his name to it and his reputation at stake, well, I'll take him for his word. but I will have to give the issue a time that maybe over a period of time we'll be able to actually confirm whether this is true or not. But BR32s and BR33s is universally recognized as semi-automatic.
Okay, I have a end user certificate with me. This was done in Banjul on the 13th day of December 2018, and it was signed and stamped by the Gage Security Company. But you seem to be worried about BR32 and BR33. How about Crossfire pumped action BR18? That's just 50. This other one is
there are 50 of those.
Yeah, there are 50 of those.
You have BR32s, I think, are 900.
900,
and the other BR and 300. So
yes.
You have 1,200. Then, in addition to that, you have what is called pump action.
Yeah, 50 of
Pump action is nothing more than the telescopic range that you have on top. Not telescopic, but these are you use your hand, either left or right hand, depending on which, what type of, whether you are right-handed or left-handed. But at every pump,
yes,
a bullet comes out. That's what pump action means. Now, you don't use that for hunting. You don't use that for hunting. So this is the point. I think over time we will be able to, unfortunately, we just hope and pray that they are not going to use this for any other purpose other than what is already in the end user certificate, which is signed with the stamp of the Gambia, Angola, China company. I would like the IG to address that, because that is issued from the end of at the end of the transaction, arms transaction, in this case, from Turkey to the Gambia. So it is the Gambia authorities who issued that certificate. It does have a signature on it. Whose signature is it? These are all of the issues that we really need to ask the Inspector General of Police to provide information to this. I think the Gambian population deserve it, and we really need to get to the bottom of it. For now, I will leave it at that. In fact, I wanted to respond to him today, but because of this interview that I'm having with you, I would leave it at that for now. The message will get to him that let him address the end user certificate, which I have put on. I think you also have copies.
Yes, I have a copy of that.
Let them answer, let them respond to that.
You seem not to be comfortable, even despite they said these are for hunting guns. You know, we don't have Serengeti, the forest in East Africa, the Mabira forest and so on for one to go for hunting. But they said this is for hunting guns, but it seems you're still not comfortable. Why are you worried? And you are saying, I hope they will not use it for other purposes.
I am worried. Hunting guns are not designed, typically they are not designed in the way that those guns that you saw on the newspapers are designed. I'm not a hunter, but I know in the Gambia, even during the colonial period to now, those gun importers, the type of guns that they use for hunting. Gambia doesn't have game. We are a very flat country. Now we have actually destroyed all our forests. We don't even have forest cover. So what are you going to use that type of guns for? What type of recreational facilities? We don't have shooting ranges, as far as I'm aware, in the Gambia. So there are a lot of, it doesn't just make sense to me, Omar. It doesn't make sense to me.
Do you have confidence? Okay, let me put it this way. What is your take on the outcome of the investigation? Despite, they say, the police, other security experts sat and they examined these weapons. Do you have confidence as far as this investigation, the conclusion is concerned, that they are not as what people expected?
Well, look, I don't want to cast dispersions on people that I don't know. These may be very good ballistic experts. I don't know who these individuals are. But as a private citizen, I have every right to be skeptical because of what the type of guns that I see printed in the newspapers, and also my own research, what it has shown. It cannot be anything other than a gun that is meant beyond hunting. The AR-15, some of which have been used in some of the most deadly massacres in the United States, these are all civilian guns. These are all civilian guns, but they are also semi-automatic. Do we need those type of weapons in our country? A place like the Gambia? I don't think so. We have the police, we have the paramilitary, we have the army. Let these type of guns stay where they belong, and that is to the normal security forces of the country, and not in private hands. This is my personal view. I have seen this type of weapons and what they are capable of doing. They can destroy societies. New Zealand was the latest last week, barely last week, and they are going to ban this type of weapons from their society. Why do we have to wait until 2019 to introduce this type of weapons in our society? We don't need it here. We don't need it here. It can stay in Angola if they wish. They can go to the Central African Republic, but in the Gambia, we don't need this type of weapons.
Now,
we don't need this type of weapons.
What will be your advice to the man who brought in all these weapons into the country, as a concerned citizen?
My advice to him is let him go and look for other businesses other than selling guns. Gambia is too small for that type of weapon. Even if it is called, you may refer to it he may refer to it as a hunting gun, but this thing can be very deadly. I understand that they are not using normal bullets; they are using ballistic, some other type of cartridges rather.
Yeah.
But again, this does not really give us cause to believe that these things cannot be harmful to our society. We can do less with that. We can do development of other sorts that would improve the lives of our country, the lives of Gambians. We have so many other investment opportunities that we can direct our energies to. But these type of weapons, we should not entertain in our country.
Okay, how about those who are issuing license to them? What should they look at? Or they should scrap the whole thing? They should not be. What is your opinion on that one as well? Those who are issuing license for people to import guns. What should be the
Yeah, you see, I don't know what the capacity is at that division within the Gambia Armed Forces or within the police department, because under Jammeh these things were not happening. Mm-hmm. These things were not happening when Jammeh was around, because he does not want the civilians to have access to these type of weapons. Not even the most rudimentary type of weapons. We've seen that happen. He has taken a lot of people to Mile 2 because they were, seen with very, very rudimentary type weapons, even locally made weapons. I don't think Jammeh would have stomached it. But now suddenly we are beginning to see these type of weapons coming into our country. And I think it's about time that somebody stand up and say, no, we are not going to have it. We will not tolerate it. I personally will not tolerate it. And as a Gambian citizen, I am going to continue to voice my opposition to this type of weapons being in the hands of civilians.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sane, for your time.
Thank you.
Well, that was Sidi Sane there, a Gambian based in the United States. saying, Aden's voice about the police just concluded an investigation into the guns that were brought into the country by the Gach Gach Security Company. I'm saying Gach Media Security Company, excuse me for that. The police said yesterday they issued a statement reacting to that. We will take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with the program.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the Real Africell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
Really?
Yes, get 1 GB for free just by replacing your SIM card at any Africell outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the Real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 GB for free.
From Africell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where Africell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Well, welcome back, viewers. I have now with me Keksane. He is a PPP, Mr. PDOIS rather. My mind is on PPP here because I have to talk to somebody from PPP. I have Keksane of PDOIS. Recently, the leader or the chairman of the DOI said that Gambia is not a lucky country for the past 52 years. Mr. Sane, welcome to the FADU Network.
Thank you for having me once again, Omar.
Okay, the chairman and the National Assembly member for Woolly West, Honorable Sidi Ajada, said Gambia never had a good leadership since independence. What is your reaction to this thing? Is he right, or is he just been not fair to Gambian the rulers from Jammeh, Jawara and Barrow?
Thank you very much, Omar, once again. I will say Sidia is very right by saying such words that Gambia is not lucky to have a very good leader. And we can look at this since the inception of the country 54 years back. What have we achieved as a country, that we can be proud of. This country is far behind in everything. You look at all sectors of our economy, everything is just going down. We cannot just soar at anything that we will say we are proud of. This has a nation, or this is what we have achieved after the 54 years of independence. So Sidia saying such words, I would say definitely he is right. All the 3 presidents that we have, they have failed us as a state.
Okay, but he is also a political leader in this country, as you know. He's been leader of your party for 32 years, I can say, 1986 to date. So one can say he's also an integral part of the problem because he's also part of the failed leaders.
Yeah. Okay, Omar, you will look at the scenario of a country. A country is run by, Sidi Ajada is a politician who have been into politics for almost 34 years or 32 years been into politics. And we can all see the type of politics that Sidi Ajada and his political parties are trying to put into the people. They said, when you entrust the powers and the will of this country to us, we will create a people-centered development, not about a development that is centered on the state, but we will create a state whereby all the developments will be centered in the state. And this is what has been lacking, but the people didn't give him the mandate to demonstrate that, and he is still in the politics, trying to educate the people that this is the government. And what he has been saying, these are the ones that are developing the whole other continents. You look at Rwanda today after the genocide, you look at where they are now, and you look at the Gambia here with abundant mineral resources. But if you look at our country, the first president of this republic, Sadauda, will tell you that, Gambia, agriculture is the backbone of this country. You come to Yaya Jammeh, will tell you agriculture is the backbone of this country. You come to Adama Barrow, he will tell you that agriculture is the backbone of this country. But all these leaders, how much have they invested in agriculture to see that definitely agriculture is the backbone of this country and agriculture can feed this country? You tend to question. You look at the agricultural sector of our country here. Every year we imported almost 200,000 metric tons of rice to this country. And we spend almost $1.9 billion to import those things into our country. When we have jackal, we have makati, we could just create a continuous cultivation of rice whereby we can create this irrigation process whereby will be continuous doing right production, whereby we will not need this $20,000, 200,000 metric tons of that. Then that means that if you can produce that 200,000 metric tons of rice, we are putting $19.7 billion in our account. So definitely we will develop. You look at the oil, we almost imported 6 million worth of oil in our country. And if we can look at the groundnut that we cultivate in this country, if you can put this groundnut, we turn them to groundnut oil, how much are we putting in our economy? So you look at this, you look at the educational system of our country, everything is poor. You look at the health facility of our country, it is poor. Nobody concentrates on the health. I tell people that Gambia doesn't have a hospital. People, when they are sick in this country, a minor sickness, they will be referred to Senegal instead of being treated in this country. And if you cannot treat minor sickness in your country, then that means you don't even have a hospital. So this is what our former leaders have failed. They fail to, they know that our problem is either education, agriculture, but they fail to invest in agriculture. But they are more centered on development, the institution itself, the government, are forgetting to develop the people. And Doyce is saying that we need people-centered development, whereby development will be centered on the people, not an individual or a group of people. And we have seen all these people, only those who are closer to the authorities are the ones that we are enjoying for the 54 years of this independence.
But many people also are saying Doy and her people are only good at, like you just giving out figures. If you do this, the country will be good at it, like Halifa and others you're always good at talking that, like they always accuse you of, but you cannot do any tangible thing. You talk about it, educating people, people-centered development, but people also accuse you of, throughout 30 years, I've been talking about one thing and things can still not get into people's head. Is that not a failure of your side as well?
Omar, then those who are saying that they don't know the history of PDOIS, because since PDOIS came into being, they feel like that you can govern a country when the people are not educated. So what can we do, to show them that, why they are considered as citizens of this country? You must know why you constitute a government and what is the purpose of the government and why you elected people into office. And the first thing they do is, by then, technology was not advanced, but they take it upon themselves with their Land Rovers, producing cassettes and CDs, educating people, why you are a citizen and why you should institute a president to be a president of, and what is the responsibility of the president.
Okay,
and what
I have to interrupt you there. I think I have APRC interim leader there. Hello?
Yes, hello, sir.
May I talk to Fabakary Tombonjata, please?
He's on an interview right now. Let me give you to you talk to me.
All right. Okay, I'll get back to him later. Well, unfortunately, that we are supposed to interview the interim leader of the APRC, but he's unavailable now. And let's continue from where I stopped. Sorry.
Okay, Omar. From there, we have been producing cassettes, in all languages, so that people will know their right as a citizen, and they will know what is the responsibility of a government. And this is to educate the people. We moved from there. We created a school here. Everybody know what is Nyako school here. Create to build young leaders of tomorrow, because we believe that, leadership starts from the grassroots. So what can we do? We created a school here that is called the Nyako Nursing School, and everybody knows that. Whoever passed through the Nyako schools know that we shape the future leaders of this country, and any of them who pass, all of those who pass through the Nyako school, are people who are vying so many positions in this country, and they are contributing their quota to the national development. We said, no, this is not the end. We created a people-centered school whereby we open the door for people to come and educate, do research, and sometimes you will have Khalifa on the ground, you will have Syria on the ground, people will do their research and they will give them their advice or guide them through the process. All these things has happened here. We moved from there, we created a newspaper, to use it as a tool to question the government. So all this to tell you that if this is the government, this is what we're going to do. This is going to be transparent. We move from there. There are other places. We buy them donkey, cart, horse, for them to cultivate. We even create farmlands for people, to cultivate various areas in the country, so that we will tell them if the government comes, this is how we're going to run the country. It's going to be based on people-centered development. All these things happen here. So, but we are not giving the bigger chance to prove to the Gambian people that if this is Dutch government, this is what we're going to do.
Who's supposed to give you that bigger chance? You say you're not giving the bigger chance. Who's supposed to give you that bigger chance?
It's the Gambian people, it is very clear in Doi. That's why we don't say, vote for Doi. We always put our programs. You will never hear from Doi leader and say that, Omar Wali, vote for us. We don't use that word because we believe that every Gambian is fully conscious to know that why you should institute somebody to be your president. So what we can do is to put our programs and our policies before the Gambian people, and they will use their intellect to choose whoever they feel like this person can best serve us. And this is what we have been doing. Unless the Gambian people give us the responsibility, then we'll prove to them that this is what we have been preaching since 32 years of our existence. This is what we want. And I can assure you that just give 5 years, they will transform this country.
Politicians are good at things like this. I heard another one saying that 90 days, and you are saying five years. In the event that Doi is given power, I hope you also will not say 5 years is not enough. Let me extend or overstretch.
Omar, we have been in politics for almost 32 years, and we have studied the political landscape of this country, and we know what is the problem of this country. And to solve it, it is very easy. Just, Omar, let's take an example of the River Gambia that we have. We have a vast river. We are blessed with abundant mineral resources in this country. But what do we have? The leaders just come here and give people to come and catch our fish. They will just give them a chicken change to say this is the Lansing film, come and catch our fish and go and make millions out of it. And we are proud of that. And we cannot move from, and we will import sardine in our country when we have abundant fish in this country, whereby we could have moved from just raw materials to at least change those raw materials into produce. That's why we have the Carnegie Industrial Area here. The Carnegie was meant for industry. That's why it is called the Carnegie Industrial Area. But look at what the former government has. They just sell the lands to the people. Where is the industry that we can set? That was meant to produce our raw materials into finished products so that we can import them and bring the value back to the country and create employment for our people. And Doi has known all these things, and Doi have the programs to solve all these issues. And you put us into office, we will do it. Look at our women that are suffering from their guidance. At the end of the day, they go to Serekunda market and sell their crops just for chicken change. At the end of the day, other things will rot in. When government could have used that opportunity to go and meet them at their farmland, buy them, process them and send them and bring the income back to this country. But rather than we just leave those things, you look at the mango season when it happens in this country, how many mangoes spoil in this country when we can turn those into mango juice. So these are programs that are properly documented, and it's lying on there, and anybody can see it, that this is the way we want to run it, and we will definitely do it.
Now, many people are saying, you talking about moving, but Sidia said we are not moving, the government is not moving. But is Doi moving, and at what speed? If Doi is moving? We
are definitely moving, and you look at the political landscape of this country as a party, we don't believe that Doi should be in power to measure how much Doi has achieved. We made it very clear to the Gambian people, Doi has achieved whatever we want. For almost 22 years, we have been preaching that the power belongs to the people. And we say that they are the only people who could change this country. And people didn't believe us. Others were calling for uprising, for Gambian people to get out of the street and remove Yahya Jammeh here. But we have been educating the people to know that definitely power belongs to them, and they can determine who to be their leader and who not to be their leader. And this was manifested in 2016. When we have our first meeting at Dakar about this coalition, there was two of us on the table. The other opposition said that, let's come with an uprising to come into the street and remove Yahya Jammeh from power. That was the idea. And when they was there, they said that's not our idea. And if this is going to be the discussion, we will not be part of this discussion. And they said that our idea is we believe that the Gambian people can change through the ballot box, and this will be possible by 2016 if we forget about our political parties and come together. And we have achieved that now. The Gambian people believe that now they are the people who will determine who will be their leader. They will choose whoever want to be their leader. Their votes counts. By then, Gambians people believe that definitely their vote is nothing, because we went up to an extent that we believe that that was the concept that Gambians have. But thanks to our effort to tell people that your votes count and your votes can change a leader, we have achieved that. Even we stop there, we have achieved something. Though this was to tell the people that power belongs to you. And all Gambians now is conscious enough that they know that power belongs to you. And this is our achievement for Doi. Even we stop here. We are not here just to say we are in power. That's not. But what have we done to change the political landscape of this country? And the track records are there. How much Doi has contributed to change the political landscape of this country. And that is enough for Doi.
So that's enough for you. So finally, what do you have for our viewers before leaving you?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. We have the Gambia here, but we will never have a new Gambia unless we have new Gambians. New Gambians in the sense that we will see the country has our collective responsibility. We forget about any sectional group or any private matters, but we see the state has our own, and collectively we will develop this country. Irrespective of, we can have our political difference, we can have our political agendas, we can have, but when it's come to the state, let us always put the national interest in the forefront and forget about other personal matters. Then from there we can go into anything. I believe if we do that, we will have a better Gambia that we can all be proud of, and our children can be proud of the country.
Thank you so much, Kek Sane, for your time.
Thank you, Omar.
Viewers, that is Kek Sane there of DOI. Earlier on, you had the leader. I tried to talk to the leader of the interim leader of APRC, Fabakary Tombong Jatta, about the allegations that President Barrow gave him a car, but he's busy with another interview. We will try to reach him in our next news review, hopefully tomorrow. And we also heard from CD Sane there, a Gambian based in the United States. Viewers, that's all we have for you today. From me and my team, we thank you so much for your time.